spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Yes, indeed. There is a light right here on WHFS We are answering your phone calls at 888-565-1470. And those of you hanging with us in South Florida, we're also broadcasting on WWNN. And we're so glad to connect to all of you all across the nation, especially all of our friends in Tampa. Why do we like our friends on the other side of the coast here in Florida? Because we're welcoming them into our 12-year experience. So if you're just hearing us for the first time and you're in Tampa, you're in the west side of Florida, you're cruising down the highway, guess what? We welcome you to our side of the East Coast, where we've been broadcasting Spiritually Speaking with Sarah for over 12 years, answering questions on life's matters, tapping in, tuning into your guides and your angels, and guiding you through life's questions and experiences. But tonight, I've got a question for all of you. Do you believe? I remember the Cowardly Lion. He was like, I do believe, I do believe, I do believe in spooks. Well, I do believe that we have the power to create, co-create with the universe, and it's the power of belief. Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote a book on the power of belief. It's actually the biology behind the power of belief and how to align your thoughts to create what you want. And it's not brainwashing. It's not thinking some positive thought and making it happen. You see, when you believe in something, there's an energy that activates the creative frequency that you as a human being, that energetic force, send out into the universe. And you begin to believe things are possible. And as the possibilities present themselves, you begin to feed more into the belief than the disbelief. You ever believe that people are more receptive to success if they believe it's possible than the person who doesn't believe anything positive is going to happen to them? And the person who believes something positive will not happen to them, their disbelief or their poo-pooing of their luck that is less than perfect. Oh, I don't have good luck. Well, that person, that very same person will receive a lot of bad luck or unexpected events that cause them angst and dismay and disappointment. And why is that? Because their energetic frequency is saying, I don't believe anything good is going to happen to me. You know, it's a matter of feeling the feeling of what you desire. And many people who have built successful businesses, maybe were told it wasn't possible, or maybe they looked at other people around and said, I choose to believe that I can do it. Many athletes knew early on as a child that they would be successful. They believed it was possible. They believed it was within them, even when coaches and teammates gave them a difficult time, maybe didn't give them that prime position. Many times when I get to speak with athletes, they share with me their stories of how their high school coach didn't believe in them and how they didn't get played. And when they finally did get played, they blew them all away. And that was that one opportunity that fed their belief that they knew inside was great and began to encourage others to believe in them. Many of us want other people to believe in us. We want other people to be our cheerleader. We want other people to hold the vibration, the frequency of what we want, but we're not willing to do it for ourselves. We have to want what we desire. We have to want it deep inside of ourselves. We can't just run around saying, I wish I could have. You either want it or you don't want. You know, wishes fall upon deaf ears because a wish is just this hopeful, but I'm not convinced or convicted in the direction of my desire. So it just is kind of in the air. And so it's willy-nilly, and we never know if it's going to hit the mark. Now, does that mean wishes don't come true? Well, I know wishes can come true. But most people, they say, well, I wish, or I hope, or the best one is, I'm trying. If you've got to say I'm trying, you're really not trying. You're either doing or not doing. There's no in between. In the land of creation, there is the thought, the idea, the inspiration, and then there is the action that leads to a result. And the action is always backed by the belief, always backed by that force of energy that takes us in the direction of an outcome. Now, are there people who have believed that they would get a job promotion or believed something would happen for them on their behalf and been disappointed? Yes, there are. And often it's a result of other people's thoughts, actions, and opinions that we cannot influence. We cannot make our boss pick us, even if though we are the best candidate or the right candidate, if there's a political reason in the hierarchy of the organization that causes them to choose someone else. And it doesn't mean the other person is less than qualified. Sometimes it does, and we hear that through the grapevine as well. But we find that when we hold the energy of a thought and we set the intention of that thought coming to a positive outcome, and here's where most humans kind of block themselves out. We don't set a limitation on exactly how it has to appear. You see, if you want a better job with a higher pay, with more, well, title or clout, perhaps a different set of responsibilities, maybe not so time consuming. Maybe you want a job that has flexibility and more hours that yield greater pay at a different time set than what you're currently working. It could be anything that you desire. But if you say that I want this job, but I want it in my workplace, that may not be possible. There may be other things that are in place. But if you say to the universe, if you say to yourself, I believe that I'm going to land a new job, and I believe it's going to give me the flexibility in the hours and the abundance that I desire, and you hold that vibration and you don't pinch yourself out of that thought because the belief is greater than the obstacles that could appear or the situation that you're in, for instance, a work environment that isn't hiring, isn't promoting, isn't reorganizing anyone, then that belief will fall, much like your wish, on deaf ears. Nothing can occur from that. But if you hold that energy and then you put yourself in a position of being open to create something else, something will manifest. And it will match the desire. You see, every person on this planet has this innate ability to be a manifestation generator, to generate items and happenings and experiences and connections with people that they feel will be rewarding, joyful, harmonious, abundant, and overall happy. So what is it that you want to create in your life? And do you believe it's possible? Now, I have many people who will say to me, but the course of my life has proven otherwise, Sarah. The course of my life has proven that I might believe it's possible, but it just never seems to happen for me. Then somewhere inside of that belief that you place out into the energy, in that thought pattern, there is an aspect within you, a part of you, that just doesn't really believe it could fall into place, or is not believing that you are worthy. There's always a disconnect. And we often send the universe sputtering out of control in the direction away from what we desire when we keep pulling out the plug, when we worry about how it's going to get there. We plug in the energy, we charge ourselves, we electrify the universe with all of our greatest thoughts and ideas, our inspirations. What can we do next? And then we wonder if it could happen, or then we worry, or we entertain the thoughts and opinions of someone else. Or sometimes we don't do what we need to do in the physical world to make it happen. It's like the person who says they want to be connected to their guides and their angels. You know, I have a very great connection with so many people, and a lot of times we find it difficult to make that connection. They're like, well, Sarah, I don't think I see them, or I hear them, or I feel them, so I don't know. Am I in trouble with them, people have said, or am I missing the mark? It's not that you're missing the mark. It's just that sometimes we try too hard. We try too hard and we step out of the energy of allowing. And we do not allow ourselves to be in the energy of the flow. Because everybody has this ability to connect to wisdom of the universe, connect to God, connect to the angels, and to even feel the presence of your loved ones, for they are around us at all times. But the power that you have within is something that has been limited and squashed and conditioned by the experiences or the beliefs of others who, in very well meaningly, raised you in their tribe with their thoughts and ideas. And often that's not the journey of your soul. But they used their thoughts and ideas to keep you safe and protected and keep you in an environment that they could control as you were growing up in the world. And as you move yourself forward in the world, you begin to realize that you think a little differently than your parents did, or you don't quite have the same thought about work that your father did. And so you look at things a little differently, and then you begin to reprogram yourself. But underneath the surface, there's this conversation that says, well, money doesn't grow on trees, and you have to work hard to get somewhere. And, if you're not very smart, no one's going to really notice you. But maybe we need to look at the fact that we may not be as intelligent in math or science, but we may have such a creative personality that we can put together an awesome idea about a business. I talked to someone the other day, fascinating individual, and she's helped many people gain access to the beaches, and she helps people in wheelchairs gain access onto the beach and into the water. People in wheelchairs that have not had the opportunity to be in the water for years. And she's bringing back that dream. She's helping them. So here's someone who, in the power of her belief, knows that there's a way in spite of the limitation. And she herself has gone through some limitations. And it's through that experience that she stepped out of the condition and had the power to believe that there was something that could be done about it, that it was possible to go to the beach even if you did have a wheelchair, and it was possible for you to be in the water. And so she held on to that belief, and she worked through it in the physical world until something happened in that direction. And then she was able to build backing and support to support that movement. And it was such a wonderful conversation she and I had, because she really believes there's something greater going on with what appeared to be a limitation in her life. There's something greater going on that's going to be for the greater good of others. You see, so we can believe an experience has a negative impact. We can believe something is going to stop us or block us. Or we can believe that it's just something to show us and teach us. We can believe that something is an obstacle because we need to take a different route or look at what it is we want and maybe adjust the outcome that we think we want. We're always navigating life. Everyone is having to recalculate our route. I love talking to my GPS, and I talk to my GPS. Usually I'm telling it, shut up, I'm going my way. But when I have it hooked in, and it always seems to talk at the worst possible time, but when I have it hooked in and it's trying to direct me as to where to go, and I'm like, well, no, I don't want to take that route. I don't want to get on that road. I'm going to go this way because I know this way will take me. You hear it's almost like it's annoyed, like recalculating route. At the next light, please make a U-turn. And then when it realizes I am not going to make a U-turn, that I have the belief that I can get there the way I want to go, it's almost like I can hear the whole darn thing sigh. Like Google Maps just gets annoyed with me. And it's like, recalculating route, Sarah Spiritual. And it begins to find another way. And then I go, see? And I talk to my GPS. I'm like, see, I told you we could go this way. I don't know why you want to send me down that crazy road. I'm going this way. And life is very much like that. It's us talking to the universe and saying, I really want this. Oh, you know what? As I'm on this journey, I think I'd like to see it play out a little differently. Let's try it this way. And the universe is always repositioning and calculating the energy to match the energy that you are sending out into the world that you want to create for the desired outcome that is right around the corner for you. And the craziest thing is most people, when they're at the precipice of realizing their goals and their dreams, yep, they give up. They just go, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Yes, it was meant to be. The universe could scream. You don't need Google Maps to sigh on that one. You've got the whole universe screaming, keep going. Don't give up now. It's just around the corner. So what do you believe? What do you believe in the heart of hearts and your soul of souls that is possible for you? And what is it in life that's maybe taken you off the path of what you'd love to create? And how would you like to create this next chapter of your life? in these last few months of 2021. Can you believe it? Yes, indeed. Always wake up on the first of the month and say, rabbit, rabbit. That brings luck. So this morning I woke up and I said, rabbit, rabbit. And then I said, holy crow. It's September 1st. Can you believe it? We are coming into the close of 2021. And what an interesting ride it's been. The whole entire world got its route recalculated in March of 2020. Who would have thought from one day to the next, the world as we knew it, and as we thought it would always be, would recalculate a route and take us on a detour and a road that's kind of dark and scary. It's not a well-lit road, so we don't know what to expect. But I will tell you that through the power of belief, that what comes to you, even in the darkest of times, will be for your highest and best good as long as you hold the positive vibrations, the powerful intentions of your heart's content, and you see it to completion as you desire it at all times, and allow, in the allowing of the flow, for the universe to calculate the route to take you to your destination in the best possible of ways. Well, we're going to take you to a commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to come right back to our station and our phone lines and answer your questions on WHFS 1010 AM, 92.1 and 103.1. And then from our friends on WWNN, catching us on 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. Yes, indeed, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we are answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. Pop on Facebook and on YouTube and catch Spiritually Speaking with Sarah live, and there we'll be answering your questions as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Did you call me with your soul? Because you know.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
We are back here live on WHFS 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1 and WWNN 1470 AM 90.5.3 and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about the power of belief and answering questions about people's lives and how we can navigate the changes before us and what's going to come in the future. 888-565-1470. Pop on Facebook for Sarah Spiritual and for our YouTube channel of Sarah Spiritual. So we're going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. I've got to go to Michael. Michael is in Atlanta. Michael, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Miss Sarah, and yourself?
I'm doing great, Michael. It's a good time for you to kind of get yourself ready for some change. I feel like there's change coming for you, time to revamp or reevaluate work, money, finances. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes, it does. You hit the nail on the coffin. Yes,
On the
ma'am.
Well, Lord knows we don't want to be in no coffin, honey, but yeah.
Right. No.
Well, it's around
No,
in today's day and age, we better not be talking about coffins because that's not a
no,
pretty
ma'am.
picture.
No, but everything you just now said, wow, that's accurate. Basically, I'm where I'm working at now, I just feel like they're not noticing or even caring about my work and what I bring. And basically, I'm trying to find something else, better pay, but not really so much of the labor. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like I put in my due. I've just always been overlooked, or it's just like, yeah, this is what we'll give you. Either you take it or, you'll go somewhere else.
Right. So let's talk about the power of belief. So you believe that you are capable of more than they are noticing within you and giving you the opportunity to do at your workplace. You also recognizing that, they're kind of working you and you're like the old gray mare just ain't what it used to be. So you're realizing that your days of hard labor are probably not gone, but it's just not how you want to use your energy. You'd rather use your creativity and your mind and your organizational skills. My guides tell me you're very good at organization. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I look at the energy, I ask you this question. When did you feel like you got passed over when you were little? That's where there's a disconnect in the belief that is coming out from you, that is just choosing to align with the people who don't want to see who you really are. There are people who are happy keeping other people in a box, and they don't want to work and nurture talent. First of all, where you work is kind of, the energy is very weird, Michael. The energy seems kind of toxic and kind of cliquey. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I take you back to when you were little, who passed you by? Was it an experience at school, or was it something in the family where we weren't getting noticed for what we brought to the table for our own unique self as a little one?
Oh, I wouldn't say family because, I was like the clown. I was the entertainer in the family. So I wouldn't say it'd be family. Now, school, I did feel like school just passed over. So, when you're a kid and you overlooked,
right.
It's like, okay, to heck with it. And that's the mentality I had, which is stupid. I look back at it like, I regret it, fighting fire with fire. But yeah, that's what it was, and that's how I felt.
And so here you are in an establishment, an organization that has kind of like a school-like structure where you have to produce and perform to the protocol that they set forth, which is really how all corporations and businesses work, right? But you can't use your light and your personality in the way that you would like. And because they're not looking to nurture talent, you have to work on nurturing the talent within. So the conversation that would be most ideal for you to have, Michael, in the work that you do within yourself, and I know you've been on a spiritual journey, my guides tell me, for the past 5 years, you've really been working and connecting to angels and God and just being so much more aware of the spiritual aspect, not just limited to religion. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I look at the energy, the conversation Michael has with his little boy is telling him that he can do it and that he is worthy of being noticed, and for you to give yourself the power to believe in yourself and move yourself in the direction of creating a new opportunity for yourself outside that organization, because the parade is passing you by and you're not getting to do your just due. You're not getting to be noticed. There's not a promotion, there's not real growth there for you. There's no one taking you under their wing and saying, hey, listen, let me show you the ins and outs of this role. I think you'd be ideal in this role next. That is not going on in that organization. But I also feel as if you took this gig as a way to put food on the table, not because it was what you desired as much as it's food on the table during a time where you're in transition and that you're getting ready to make other changes in your life as well. Does that make sense to you, Michael?
Yes, yes.
So I feel like there's other changes that are happening that are taking you in a direction of perhaps even leaving the location. So then whether those people notice you is not going to really make a difference, because I don't know that you're going to be in that immediate area for a long period of time. But that said, and hear what I'm about to say, and I say this to you and everyone listening, that when we hold this vision of dissatisfaction in an employer or an experience, and then we go to create a new one, unless we have detached from that negative experience or that unfulfilling experience, in this case, it's not overly negative, it's just leaving you feeling empty. And if we don't do the work around that of bringing our inner self, our little one, into the future and believing that it's possible and quelling the fears of the child within that so wants to know that it's capable of anything and just wants someone to believe in them and give them the shot. And you, as the adult to your own child, you have the power to nurture your own little one, much like the teachers didn't. The teacher didn't say, hey, we love your personality, but stop clowning around. Let's see what we can do to help you focus with this particular math problem or something in history. They didn't take the time to do that. They didn't have the time to do that. Their structure isn't set up that way. But you can go back and say, great, Michael, you're going to use all of your talents of entertainment and joy and happiness and impromptu actions and your intellect, and you're going to find a role, a job that's going to bring you much satisfaction. As I say that, and I can't let you put a word in edgewise yet, Michael, because I'm also being led to say, and how you best do that is to lead others, because you're meant to be a spiritual leader. You're meant to empower other people. I understand, I get it, that we have to put food on the table. I understand that we have a job. But eventually, I feel like you're supposed to work some type of ministry. Has that crossed your mind?
Ooh, I mean, I've thought about it, but yeah, that I thought about it, but I guess it's almost going back to the little boy again. I kind of felt I've been battling with that then all my life, if that's the case, because I was going to ask you, what do you see as far as for the next job move? What would that job require, or what would it look like ideal?
Well, ideally, I feel like you and your family are going to make a move. I don't know that you're going to stay in that part of Atlanta. There's some change coming. So whether we stay in Atlanta or we leave Atlanta, there's a move. So however that move plays out, that's going to position you to get a job that has a slightly different role, that isn't so monotonous, gives you an opportunity to use some of your creative talents. But behind the scenes, building a ministry and possibly studying to help other people would be something that would be most advantageous to you, because you have so much to bring to the table in inspiring others. And that's truly what your soul's purpose is. Cannot say that you'll go from this job to that, because there's some things that have to happen in between. And I also feel that you're supporting other people in your household with their dreams. So together, you're going to have to work as a team. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But when I spin you out, this year, first of all, is your year of personal power. It's your year of your purpose and your passion. So coming into feeling that and giving yourself permission to do that within the visioning. God says in the asking it is given. So in the envisioning of what you desire, that power, that purpose is going to yield you a better idea of how that can be articulated in the physical world. In the meantime, we work on your little one. Michael, there's a offer that I have for my classes that could help you for learning how to cut soul cords of past experiences. There's also a soul integration reading that I offer. That helps us integrate your little boy who's kind of trapped in the I don't measure up in school belief system that is preventing you from emulating your highest vibration so people notice you in the way. They're noticing the little boy who doesn't feel like he's good enough or capable, as opposed to the grown man who has so much talents and love and inspiration and intelligence to give to the world. I hope what I say makes sense to you, Michael, and I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am, you did, Miss Sarah. You always do, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thanks for following the show, and keep me posted. Bye for now.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
All right.
Blessings.
Blessings. Bye. 888-565-1470. And from Atlanta, Georgia, we're going to go to Connecticut. We've got Tammy on the line. I hear that Tammy's got an important question about, I want money, lots and lots of money. I want to be rich. What's going on, Miss Tammy? How are you?
Good. How you doing, Sarah?
I am doing well. So we've got a money question?
Yes, I want to know how my financials are going to be the next few months with money.
Okay. So I feel like, is there something owed you that's not being paid to you? Are you expecting money? There's some back money coming. There's something that you're feeling is lacking here, because I feel as if, this is the way they show it to me, I feel as if somebody should have been helping you with something and they didn't, and so it kind of left you empty-handed or with a half pocket full of money.
Yes.
Okay. And so are we looking to have someone pay us and give us what they owe us? Is that a thought in your mind? Because that's the energy around your question.
Yes.
Okay. So now that I've cleared that for myself and I feel that energy around you, I want to also say to you that the person that we're looking to have help us, that's not who they are. It's really hard to get blood from a stone, they tell me. Yes? So
Yes.
This person is being very resistant in it, almost like they feel like they don't owe you, they've done enough for you, you're not grateful enough, and they've just got this very hard energy. But here's what I also know about the laws of the universe and how I know that God always provides for us. I feel as if, Tammy, that there is an opportunity for you to make some money. Was there a side business or something you were thinking of doing on the side?
I was debating on doing some gift baskets.
Okay. So please look into that. You know, debating, I know we need to get supplies and things to do that. But Tammy, I strongly encourage you to get a little source of something put together that really makes you enjoy doing it and brings you in some money. And there's no better time. If that's something that could be of interest to you, this is the perfect time to try that and yield a good return for that, because this is the season of what? Gift giving. We're coming up. La 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 la. It's almost here before we know it, right?
Yeah.
I was walking my dogs the other day, and out of the blue, I was like, how many more days till Christmas? How many more months till Christmas? I was like looking up Christmas because I'm going, it's going to be here. So that would be great. My guides are suggesting that you do that to help supplement you and to make it easier. And I feel that you will be okay, but I also feel that the person that you're hoping is going to assist you is really going to either come up very short or not come up at all. So I know it's not what you want to hear, Tammy, but it is what they're showing me. So I hope that I've given you insight on this.
Yes, you have.
All right, Tammy, keep keeping on. I'd love to see pictures of those gift baskets. Get cracking. I know you can do some great work. Thanks so much for your call, Tammy, and much
Okay.
regards in Connecticut. Bye
Do
for
you have
now.
any good lucky numbers for me to play?
You know, when I look at the energy around you, I feel like 7, 6, 9 is a good number for you, and that represents loved ones on the other side. So take a look and see. You can look it up in your Connecticut lottery. See if it has not come up recently. It does always have a nice vibe in the fall months, so it might be something for you to try coming into this fall. 769. All right, Tammy. Thanks so much.
Okay.
And thanks for asking about the numbers. I love numbers. Bye for
Okay.
now. Bye.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
You have a nice
You
night.
too. Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. That's me, Sarah Spiritual. And we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Then when we come back, we're coming back to the phone lines, and we're going to pop on over to Facebook and YouTube. And in the 7 o'clock hour, my friend Stacie Haller, the astrologer, is going to give us some insight because Mercury's coming retrograde again. We all know what that means. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Sarah Spiritual, and we are talking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470. So I sure hope if you're driving in your car, cruising down the highway, you want to give us a call, and we're going to answer some questions. We've been answering some questions in Atlanta and Connecticut, and I'm going to talk about something we've got coming up online if you're not local for us, and still online because we're not doing classes at my center in West Palm Beach. But we are holding a cord-cutting class. Do you feel like you're repeating patterns in your life? Do you feel like someone is still energetically connected with you, even though you've since been done with them, but they keep popping up into your mind and you keep thinking about them, or you just kind of feel their energy kind of come into yours. You're like, what is going on? Well, we're going to teach you how to clear the energy, cut the cords of the past, and walk on by, my friends, because sometimes we just got to clear some energy, cut some cords of past experiences. And that class is on 9/14, that's September 14th at 7:30 p.m. The cost is only $13. You can take this class online. We will send you a link. Go to sarahspiritual.com, and there you can learn all the details about this fabulous cord cutting class and how to release old patterns of energy and free yourself. And we've got another class coming up right after that, the week after that, and this is about the world is changing. Spirit gave me a whole song, the world is changing now. And this is a time for us to learn to readjust our energy and make conscious shifts in our experience. So I hope you join us, how to navigate this new world that we are in and create this conscious shift. You have the power to collaborate with the universe, and it goes even beyond your belief, because we have to break some patterns and conditions of how things used to be so we can create the world as we want it to be, regardless of all the things that are going on. And that class is the following week. It is September 2021. So it's September 21, and the wonderful experience is only $11. We do hope you join us online for that. We're going to pop back on to the phone lines, and then soon we'll be going to our Facebook and YouTube questions. Be sure to line them up. I've got to go to, I think I need to go to Sharon. Sharon's in Florida. Sharon, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Sharon. And how can I help you tonight?
I've been lost since I lost my son in 2008, and then I lost my other son in 2020.
Yes.
When I say lost, homeless, I can't get my mind right. I need to know where my life is headed now.
There's a new community, a new connection with people that is going to help you. I feel as if even from work, that's been spotty for you as well. Is that also true?
Yeah, I lost my job in 2020. I just could not get my head right.
Yes.
With the loss of my second son. So, yeah.
And both of your sons were lost unexpectedly and tragically, correct?
Yes.
Yes, because they show me life has just ended just like that. And this is the energy that they give me. And I also feel as if there was, you had invested a lot in your son who passed in 2020, like you were really hoping that his life was going to be a particular way. And no matter how hard you tried, you did everything to keep both your sons safe, sound, and on the right track. Does that make sense to you?
Uh-huh.
Yes. When I look at the energy here before you, I will tell you this, Sharon, that both of your sons are at peace, and I'm not making a direct connection with them at this moment, but I do feel the energy of their presence around you, and their energy is with you to support you. There is a way for you to work on your healing. I do feel as if when I step you into the month of October, through some healing work, some counseling, you're going to be able to begin life again. Will life ever be the same? No, because you've suffered a loss that most parents never want to endure. And when I move the energy for 2021, there's a pattern and there's a rhythm to life that puts you back on path where you don't have to worry so much about the day-to-day experiences of having a job, paying bills, and having a roof over your head. The rug got pulled out from under you, and I know that you feel as if the angels and God have failed you, but there's a greater purpose that's going to happen for you through this experience, and through this grief process, you'll be able to help other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I've answered your question for you.
You did. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome, Sharon. How did you hear about the show?
I actually was searching through the channels, and I just started hearing you talk, and I just started listening.
Yeah. Are you local to West Palm?
Yes.
Okay. One day I would love if you can come into the center. Maybe we can do a session. It'll be a little easier for me to bring both your sons through so we can make a connection with them. Sometimes it comes instantly on the radio. Other times it takes a little bit more time for me to establish that connection, and that's best done in a private session.
Okay.
All right, my dear. But pop in, check out the energy, the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I'm right in West Palm Beach off of Okeechobee Boulevard, Sharon. Our condolences to
Okay.
you. I know it does not replace your son, but know that God's going to work through you in a mighty way. Bye
Thank
for
you
now.
so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. And we're going to go to Ada. Ada's in Texas. Ada, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ada, what's your quick burning question for us before we close out this top of the hour?
Oh, any messages from my spirit guides?
Spirit guides. Well, let me tell you this. Stepping into this energy of who you've come to be, and it's kind of interesting. I hear this song, I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. And it's like stepping into your power, and it's like, ain't no stopping you now. Nobody's going to mess with you now. There's a guide. I don't know. I know we've talked before, and I feel like maybe we've talked about guides before, but there's a guide that steps forward for you that is an Indian spirit guide. Are you aware of your Indian spirit guide, please?
You've told me about him, but
Yes.
I don't see him.
Okay. This Indian spirit
Oh,
guide is still leading the way for you, still helping you pioneer new experiences and opening up new doors for you. I actually feel like there could be some kind of shift financially for you. Are we thinking of making a job change or some different aspect of work that you wanted to incorporate, please? Because I see changes in work.
Well, not yet.
Okay. There's something that's brewing, so be open to that possibility. He's trying to lead you in a slightly different direction, something about feeling purposeful, passionate, and rewarded. That's really important for you at this point in your life. And you're
Yes.
going to have great increase in finances as we move into 2022, and I really feel it's work-related. All right?
Huh.
So
Good.
So focus on that and manifest, believe in the possibilities. They're getting ready to wave me off, so I do have to pop off, Ada. But thank you so much for reconnecting with us. And God bless you, and we'll talk again, I'm sure.
Likewise,
All
listening
right.
to your program, listening.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. Write the number down. We're going to continue to take calls in the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And my friends at WHFS, don't worry, you don't have to leave us. Go to Sarah Spiritual on Facebook or on YouTube. You can catch the rest of the program or visit iHeartRadio and follow up on WWNN for the second half of the show. Stay tuned, everybody. Stacie Haller's going to tell us what's coming up in the stars. We got destiny written there. And then we're going to go to Facebook and continue to answer our questions live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. 888-565-1470. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What it is to be stillness in my mind, I will see the world differently, the world differently. Everyone is here for a reason. Everyone is here to shine their love. If I could see the world differently now, I'd be seeing me as one with you. If I can see the love within me now, I will see the love in you. We all come to shine our light now. We all come to be all we can be, just you and me. If I could see love in everything now, I would see the world differently now. So I will take my vision in my mind now, and I'll see love, and I'll see love, and I'll see the sun begins to set and close out the day, and the moon begins to rise. It says hello as the sun says goodbye. The birds ride the wind and nowhere there to go. They're just cruising by, singing a song or two for you and I. The ocean meets the sun.
Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
There's a land that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we are answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. But before we go to that, we've got to pop into our monthly astrology report with my friend Stacie Haller. Stacie Haller of Destiny in the Stars. So visit her website, destinyinthestars.com, and learn more about the work Stacie does. And we want to hear what's going to happen because September's going to be heating up. I know we've got a bunch of planets in retrograde, but there's one coming that I don't know how it's going to impact us. So we got to see what Mercury retrograde's going to bring for us, Miss Stacie. Stacie Haller, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I'm great. I'm always happy to be here with you and your listeners to take a look at this month ahead.
Thank you. Yes, and you and I were talking. It's about almost a year since you started to come on live on our broadcast, yes?
It is. It was surprising to me. It seems that it went so fast. But, yes, it's exactly a year.
Well, welcome to the family. Glad to have you on board for a year. And what a year it was, Stacie. So
it was quite an interesting year. I think we all want as much information as we could get as we navigate.
I was thinking a star needed to fall from the sky, or so we needed something to happen because it was definitely a little crazy out there. So, Stacie, what do we have to look forward to in September? We got some good stuff coming, or is it going to be kind of off this month?
Well, let me give you the heads up. Let's put it that way. I mean, we're starting off with the new moon in Virgo on the 6th. That's on Monday. And I love your new moon collection, Sarah. Everybody, it's great. It's in Virgo, so everybody needs to take a look at everyday life. Virgo is about everyday work life, your health, your schedules, how we manage through the day. So this new moon in Virgo is a great time to visualize and actualize new ways to organize and redefine your work and really take charge of your daily life. So as we're doing that, we're slowly creeping towards a Mercury retrograde on the 27th.
Deep sigh, everybody. So for those who don't know what Mercury retrograde is, just educate us for a minute. What exactly is Mercury retrograde?
It's so interesting that it is so ingrained in our culture now that people don't really understand exactly what it is. They just get scared when they hear it's coming. Right. So really, Mercury, in a nutshell, Mercury is the planet that represents communication. And it is an aspect where if you look at the planet 4 times a year, it appears to be going backwards. That's the retrograde motion. It's really not going backwards. It's kind of like if any of you have ever sat in a train and there's a train next to you in the station and the train next to you is moving and you're not. You feel like you're moving, but you're not. That's kind of like the retrograde motion. So when this happens to the planet Mercury, that's when anything to do with communications kind of gets screwed up. And we really want to be careful about what we do during this 3-week period and be prepared for mishaps, things, missing deadlines, all sorts of anything to do with communications. This month, it happens to be in Libra. And Libra is the sign of close partnerships, relationships. So this Mercury retrograde, we're going to kind of shine a little focus on relationships, and then depending on your sign, might affect you in different areas of your life.
And before we get into that, does Mercury retrograde also impact electronics, travel? What else does it impact? Because I know I've had some interesting mishaps with Mercury retrograde. Water heater broke one year. Just crazy things happen. So does that impact that?
100%. In fact, funny you should bring that up, because just today my cell phone was getting a little funky. And I know for sure I've got to get a new one as soon as possible before we're even close to the retrograde, because for sure it's going to blow up in the retrograde or I'm not going to be able to get a new one. So yes, anything with communications, electronics for sure. If you're putting off getting something new, I would say let's speed that up, because it might not serve you well during the retrograde.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up, because I was trying to batten down the hatches. I'm like, what in this picture might go wrong, so I could be sure that I could stay one step ahead of it, because I don't have time for that. So, all right.
The message is, though, go with the flow. Some of this is just going to happen, and you're just going to take a deep breath, and you're going to pick yourself up and keep going. But some of it we could try to mitigate for sure.
Absolutely. So how is this going to impact the individual signs? Because I know people always hear that, but they want to know, well, how does that impact me? Mercury retrograde, what does that mean for me? So shed a little light on this. What does it mean for the astrological signs?
Well, for everybody, as I said, it is in Libra. So we're all going to be looking at our relationships in general. But depending on your sign, it falls in a different area of your life. So let's rock around the zodiac clock here and take a look at how it's going to affect the signs. But for all of you listening, pay attention to your sun sign. And if you know your rising sign, that might be applicable to you too, if you happen to know it. So we'll start with Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. And you Aries folks out there, this Mercury retrograde is hitting you in the 7th house. That's the house of relationships. So you folks are the ones that might see some old issues coming up with your partner or in a relationship. You might want to work on it to make it better, but just wait till Mercury goes direct. So don't be signing agreements or deals right away. If you have to, check it out really carefully. But for Aries folks in that 7th house, if you're thinking about your relationship, this is not a time to make a decision. Just hang on and wait.
Are they supposed to cancel the wedding, though? What if they're getting married?
No. Listen, what's meant to be is meant to be. But some issues may come up in your relationship, old issues. Okay. That doesn't mean it's detrimental to the relationship, but don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're discussing something that you thought you put to bed.
Okay. Next on the astrological clock, who's next?
Now we turn to Taurus. Now, my Taurus friends, this is going to hit you in your 6th house, which is all about work and health. So you might have some work frustrations. Your schedules might get screwed up. Just be sure to be flexible. 6th house is also about health. Look at your eating habits. Look at your health habits. Your schedules might get screwed up, but it's also a good time for you to take a look at them to see how you could make them better and how you could change them up. Be careful with your investments, too, Taurus, during the retrograde.
Okay.
Now we'll move to Gemini. Sarah, you know about Gemini, right?
I know Gemini. Yeah, that would be me.
Now, this is coming up in your 5th house, which has to do with romance and children. So, again, you Geminis, you might see some old lovers appearing. You might decide that if you're in an existing relationship to bring some new energy to it. This retrograde would be great. If you're in a relationship and it's kind of feeling a little stagnant, this retrograde is a good time to bring new energy into your existing romance. All right. It's also a good time to spend with children. This is the house of children. So you can spend some quality time with your children during the retrograde.
Perfect. Next.
So I'm going to move to Cancer. You ready for Cancer?
Yes.
Now, Cancer is in the 4th house, which is home. So you Cancers out there, you might have some childhood issues coming to resurface, but here it's coming up for you as an opportunity to heal some of those. And Sarah, I heard you talking earlier about some childhood issues that people have. This retrograde, especially for Cancers, would be a really good time and an opportunity to heal some of those. It's a good time to reconnect and make peace with your family members. So Cancer, if you haven't spoken to somebody in your family for a while and you want to make good with them, this retrograde is a good time for that. Also a good time to decorate your house and do things with property.
Perfect.
Now, Leo, my Leo friends, this is in the 3rd house of communications and siblings. So we talked earlier, Sarah, you were asking about electronic things. Leos, you really need to pay attention to this. Triple check your communications, reread your emails, make sure you don't hit send when you shouldn't be hitting send. Those are the kind of Mercury retrograde things that could happen, especially for Leos when it's in the 3rd house. It's also really a good time to bond with your siblings. If you haven't been around your brothers or your sisters for a while, the retrograde is really a good time to reconnect. But definitely, Leos, watch your electronics. Make sure they're in good shape and maintained before you go in. Now, Virgos, this retrograde is in your house of money and values. So it's a really good time to take a look at your resources and your finances and review it and reassess it. I wouldn't make new investments, but you want to plan for what you want to do. So money might be delayed for you, Virgos, during this retrograde, or you may get something unexpected. Something may just pop up for you there. But it is, since Virgo is also the sign of work and health, it's a good time to take care of your body and your health. And like we said earlier, look at those habits. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Now, Libra, pay attention, Libras, because this Mercury retrograde is in Libra, and it's in your 1st house. And that's how you project yourself to the world. So I want your Libras to pay attention here. Be careful and manage how you're perceived and how you come across to other people, because there could be misconceptions going on. So pay attention. Make sure people are understanding you clearly. That's the kind of Mercury retrograde in your relationships that you want to make sure you stay on top of. Don't make any hasty decisions. It's going to be hard for you to make decisions during this time anyway, because you're going to be going back and forth. So just wait till the retrograde is over. Have patience and prepare for the future. Scorpio, my Scorpio friends. All right. You may be looking at some delays with travel and issues. Things may come up for you, so just hang tight. You may have an old health problem resurface that you want to pay attention to during this retrograde. It will come back and it will bubble up for you because you need to pay attention to it. So if it's something you haven't been paying attention to, it's going to bubble up in this retrograde to get your attention, to take care of yourself. Okay? Sagittarians, they're in your 11th house. That's friends and goals. So old friends could bring you new possibilities. Watch your communications with your friends, my Sagittarian friends, because that's when gossip could get out of hand. So be careful, because if you're talking out of turn, it's going to come back to bite you. So be careful. And then take a look at what you haven't finished up of your goals. Now's a good time to make plans to make that happen. My Capricorn friends, it's in your house of career. So any old job opportunities you might have had might come back. Things that didn't come to fruition. I know a lot of people, Sarah, have been talking about what am I doing for jobs, right?
Correct.
So if you're a Capricorn, look out. Things could be popping for you to come back. You could reconnect with old friends that could help you. You could reconnect with old clients and customers. So it's also a good time to reconnect and reconcile with your parents. If that has been a little rocky lately, Capricorns, this retrograde is a good time to get back in sync. Aquarius, good time to upgrade your skills. It's in the house of education. If you want to stay current with trends and brush up on skills and elevate your talents. Perfect time for that. It's a time for you, Aquarians, to really reflect on your challenges and make some plans to see what could be done so you could move further in life. And last but not least, my Pisces friends, it's in a very spiritual 8th house. So for you folks, it's really a good time to revisit your old habits and old people and figure out what's serving you and what's not serving you. Watch out for secrecy, Pisces. There's something in here that if you're doing something a little secretive, that could come out to bite you. So be careful in what you're doing. You might have some karmic people come back into your life. Just stay on top of it. Proceed carefully. And everybody hang on until this retrograde is over. It's the last one of the year. And then we're home free till January.
Last one of Mercury retrograde, but I know there's other planets that are still retrograde, so little things may feel a little slow and stuck for a little while, but at least we won't be feeling this angst with Mercury retrograde hanging over our head. Stacie, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your connection to the stars. And everyone listening, if you would like to have your chart done by Stacie Haller, then you can go to destinyinthestars.com. That's Destiny in the Stars, and learn more about her work. And I encourage you, if you've never had your chart done, you want to understand what Libra rising is and what your houses are, she's the girl to go to. She's got the answers, and most certainly will give you insight, especially as we get ready to navigate the close of 2021 right into 2022. As always, Stacie, pleasure having you here. Time for us to go, but thank you so much for sharing that information with us. We'll talk to you next month.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Then we're popping right back on the phone lines and going to Facebook and YouTube at 888-565-1470. Stay with us, everyone. We will be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been shy.
And we are live here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. We're going to go back to the phone lines and like multitasking over here. We're like having conversations in the hall and here in the room. And we got to get back to what we're working on here. And I've got Michael. And Michael's in Florida. Michael, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Good to connect with you, Michael. How'd you hear about the show? Is this your first time calling?
Yes, I just happened to run across you, and I loved your energy, so I started listening to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our family. And you've got some really positive energy going for yourself. And you are in this energy of your own personal power. You're kind of stepping into who you are, and you don't give a flying banana what people think. You're going to be who you are, and they're going to appreciate you for who you are. You are just really solid in who you've come to be. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes, it does.
All right. And when I go back in the energy and they take me back to 2019, this seems to be a bit of time of change for you. Did we move? Did we do something shifting in our energy right around that time? Was that a little challenging time for you?
I was challenging. I was in assisted living, and I left because I couldn't stand it. And then I was homeless for almost 2 years.
Oh, my.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot, kind of God's in my life, so.
Well, you are making changes, and you're definitely stepping in. So you like booked that joint, right? You didn't like the assisted living place?
No, I didn't.
Well, see, at least
I left that thing.
Well, at least you know what you want, and you're creating your own new personal journey for yourself. Michael, what is your question for me tonight?
Well, I've had a really rough life, and now I think it's going to all change, and I'm expecting a big change. So God's been directing me, so I would like to know if you see anything on that.
Well, yes. Let me move you forward here, and I actually have to go back so we can go forward. So when they talk to me about as a young child, they make me feel like you kind of got shuttled around, or there was like a lot of hands in the pot trying to create family in some kind of stability. Does that make sense to you, Michael?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. I had a rough time as a kid, too.
Yeah, I feel like not everybody was all hands on deck paying attention and making things easy for you. And then when I move you...
So then loved.
And when I move you into the energy of, when I step you into the year of 2010, I feel like that was another pivotal time for you. That's really when you start to get a lot closer to God. Coming into 2010 to 2012, you kind of recognize that there's something greater out there than just the circumstances that were surrounding you. Now, Spirit tells me that you've been guided to want to do something to help other people, but there's also money that's supposed to come to you to help support and create something that's going to help people who are without, people who have less than. Is that correct? So you want to put something together for homeless people or people who need assistance?
Homeless, everybody. I'm supposed to. I've been praying to God, and He's told me I'm going to receive a lot of money and to help people. That's why I kept praying. Let me help people.
Yes.
I know what it's like.
And that's what I see. So I see money coming to you. So I feel like somehow, again, God knows how. I always tell people, don't ask how. Just say, I'm ready. So that's what you tell God, I'm ready. God will figure out the how, the when, and all the details behind it. But just be ready to receive a miracle, because I do feel like you walked this very difficult path so that you could shine a light on the dark path for others so they could find their way with more ease and grace. And you were built strong, and you navigated quite a bit. And now in this energy, it's going to finally come together so that you can have your peace of mind, your harmony, your joy, and also feel as if you're making a difference for others. And this is what I see for you. So your vision from God is exactly the same one I'm getting. So I get the sense that, yes, this is going to come to pass for you.
Yes. Do you see anything like a physical healing? Because my body's a mess.
Well, you've been through a lot, and you put your body through a lot too, if I may say so myself.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you know
I did.
you weren't exactly the best keeper of the temple. Let's get real.
Nope.
But when I look at the energy around you, I feel as if the body can acclimate to a better vibration, and this will alleviate the pain and the discomfort that's in your body, because I feel as if you feel like you're 100 years old, and you're not that old. So
Yeah, I feel like my body's way over the hill.
way over the hill. But
Yes.
that energy is something that can change through prayer and healing. And, you know, Archangel Raphael is the healing angel, so he can most certainly give you the energy of healing through that experience.
Well, that's great.
Okay.
I do believe in all that, and I pray constantly.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So, Michael, thank you so much for calling and following the show. I hope that now that you found us every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m., you'll continue to listen and to join the story that goes on here.
okay, I will, and I thank you very much. You confirmed everything I had in my head.
Wonderful. Well, that's because your head is working just fine. The body might be failing you, but the mind is sharper than a tack, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Well,
Bye for
all
now,
right,
Michael.
Thank you very much.
You're
God
welcome.
bless.
God bless you. Bye. 888-565-1470. And we're going to go to Idaho. I've got Stacie on the line. We're getting around the country tonight. Stacie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well, Stacie. Good to connect with you. You know, this year really is going to represent finding some balance within your journey, understanding the connection with God and the balance of the physical world and the God self. And I feel like you've been opening up more and more to spirit. Even though you're a very solid, grounded person, you actually are connecting to the higher self even more than ever in the past 3 years. Does that make sense to you, Stacie?
Yes, it does.
Okay. What is your question for me?
My question is my divorce going to happen soon?
Ugh.
And will I have enough money to finish my spiritual journey, you know, starting my website and getting on with my psychic abilities?
You know, it's very interesting. So this divorce has been a little bit of a back and forth. Is that true, please? Like there's like a standoff that happened during the period of this divorce?
Yes.
Okay. And I see a lot of resistance on that the partner's part, your ex's. He doesn't really feel like he wants to come up with what is just and fair here. And this is where I see the resistance, yes? There will be
Right.
enough for you to, my spirit guides say, have some time to build your website, tap into your energy, perfect the skills that you have, and begin to build a platform for your connection to assist others on their journey. I feel as if when I step into the energy, I don't get to see this particular angel often, but I see Archangel Metatron around you, Stacie. Archangel Metatron is very strong, working around you protectively and also guiding you. And I'm also made aware of the energy of Archangel Michael, as well as the energy of Archangel Chamuel. Now, Chamuel is bringing forth this cup, this chalice of unconditional love of self, but also bringing to you, my dear, a love that is going to be an equal vibrational match, someone who's going to balance out. So even though one relationship has come to a close, there is a divine partnership that is coming for you. I feel as if the relationship that you had with your husband was bound by some obligations within it, that we stayed for a period of time that really we could have disentangled, but it did not happen. And now it's finally happened. But when I move back in the energy, I most certainly feel as if when I go to the energy of 2013, that really should have been the exit time, but we didn't quite take that plan. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. This is the journey. This is when it starts. There's so much you can do to get yourself up and running in the meantime, Stacie. And I see great victory coming to you. There'll be a little holdback. You won't get quite everything that you would like to get. He needs to feel this is his persona. He needs to feel like he won somehow. And kind of feel like by the end of the year, by December, it might be a little longer than you want, but I feel like by December we should finally wrap it up, as my spirit guides say.
That is awesome.
All right, my
I
dear.
needed to hear that.
All right, hang in there and fight the fair fight. God's got it all under control. All right, Stacie, thank you so much for listening to the show, and I know you follow us on Facebook, so thanks so much. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470 from Idaho. I got to go to Chicago. I've got April on the line. April, how are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great, April. Good to connect to you. You've called the station before?
Yes, I have.
All right, great. What is, because it's just, it comes by so fast, I don't really recognize people until I'm way into a conversation. So, April, what is your question for us tonight?
My question for you is the man that's in my life, if he's a one, and what's going to happen with the relationship with my children.
Okay, so first, the gentleman's birthday, please.
March 19th. You need the year?
Yes.
Hold on, because I forgot. He's 52. If that'll help you. I can't remember the year right now.
So what I see here in the energy is that right now he's going through a lot of changes. I feel like he's kind of cleaning up some things from the past 2 years. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel as if things are not in order for him, and I feel like next year is a much better year for him to be the person that he's come to be, okay? As far as love, here is somebody who does not always know how to communicate and effectively deliver the energy of consistency to you. And I feel like sometimes that kind of sends you off kilter because you're pretty grounded and solid in what you have come to expect in a relationship, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I look at this energy, I just feel like his energy's tangled. I don't feel like it's completely free. I feel like he's got other distractions. So if you feel very strongly about this gentleman, the thought around this should be patience will show you what he's capable of, and then truth will show you whether he's the one. That's what they're saying. So I feel like in the asking of the question, there's something that doesn't check off in the box that makes you feel like he's going to really show up for you fully when you guys are really together as a couple. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So pay attention to that. I wouldn't call it a red flag. I'd say it a cautionary note, and that we need to make sure we fasten our seatbelts and make sure we know what we got ourselves into so we don't have another crash landing. When I spin you back to 2009, they make me feel as if that time was a time of a relationship that didn't play out well. At that time, who were you with in 2009?
An ex.
Okay. And that ended up kind of weird and ugly is how they describe it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we're looking to not repeat that pattern.
Correct.
And so this is why we are still a little guarded. The
Correct.
person is a great visionary, got a lot of good things, but I want to be sure that you know whether you're holding up the whole bargain or he's going to come bringing his fair share.
Correct.
Okay? So just watch and through the end of the year as you are patiently observing, you'll decide if it's a right fit. It's neither good nor bad. It's just, is this what you really want?
Mm-hmm.
Is it what you really want? They're like, ask her, is that what she wants? Because you're reading the writing on the wall. Even if it started to be written in invisible ink, it's starting to rise to the surface. And this is what you're looking for, April.
Okay.
Okay. That was your love question. What was the other part of the question, please?
My children. What's going to happen with the relationship with my children? It's kind of like
Divided.
rocky right now.
Yeah, it's divided, correct?
Correct.
A lot of interference around that. Feel like there's some, I don't know, backstabbing, back words. Something is not being done in truth here. What are your children's names? Just their first names.
Von Shay and Andre.
Okay. So who is something to do with your children's father and mother, his mother, please? Who's kind of painting you as the bad guy in this, please?
It's nothing with their side.
I see a mother painting you as the bad guy.
It could be. Could it be a mother-in-law?
Yes.
Could be a mother-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be his mother?
His mother-in-law.
Okay. The children spend a lot of time with him, please?
His daughter.
Okay. I see here 3 months for this to kind of come back together. Somewhere around the holidays, we should have a better energy of communication. I really feel as if the children, and I know they're not that young, but they're not privy to all the inside story, and they don't really know your side of the story.
Okay.
So please just give this a few months, and somewhere around the holidays, reach out and see if we can mend this fence.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling, April. I hope I've been of service to you. All right.
Yes,
bye for now. Great. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to go back to the phone lines, and we'll pop on to see who's talking on Facebook. Let's get that conversation going. We're going to be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions at 888-565-1470. I want to pop on Facebook, see what's going on there, and pull some questions from our Facebook page. Let's see. Well, we're going to go to our YouTube. So we have Katsarina. There's somebody named Jack. Has too much talking about life together. So the question is he thinking to marry me as well? And so, Katerina, what I see around this energy is, yes, he's talking about a future. He likes to envision the future. He likes to think about the energy of the future, and he feels very drawn to you. It makes me feel as if there's a time for him to visualize and fantasize about it, and then there's the time for him to hit actuality. And in this moment in time, it's really more he's thinking ahead of himself and what he would like to do, but he doesn't have all the right energy and feelings and motion to back it up. This is going to take a little bit longer for you to see if these words are going to match. But right now in his idea, as he thinks out loud, this is what he's thinking he would like to do. Time's going to tell if he's going to show action on these words. Thanks so much for your YouTube question. We're going to take another question because we didn't want Facebook and YouTube to think we forgot them tonight. We've got Miriam Fig. She says, I would love a message regarding my love life. I've been in a solid relationship. Will I be in a solid relationship? She's single. So Miriam Fig, yes, you will be in a relationship with someone, and this is something that has been brewing underneath the surface, this desire to have primary partnership for about the past 18 months. And the conditions in the world may have slowed up the process, but I will tell you that there is a strong connection in the energy of love, personal love as well as romantic love. And romantic love is coming up for you in this time coming into the 2022 energy. So I would look for love energy to enter anywhere from October till about March or April of 2022. You're turning the corner, my dear, and this is the time for you to embrace true love and focus on what you desire for love. We're going to pull another question from our Facebook and YouTube before we go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. We've got our friend Bree, and Bree says, at the age of 32 to 33 years old, marriage preparation will initiate. You told me this in, I think, 2019. Sarah, it's going down. Well, Bree, I'm really glad that we saw in 2019 that you would be prepping for marriage. Glad it's going down, girl. And we look forward to hearing all about these wedding details. And you know what? I hear that song, I'm getting married in the morning. Congratulations, Bree, as you make these great plans. So happy that you found the true love. So see Miriam Fig, see everyone looking for love. It does come, and it comes at the perfect time. Thanks so much for sharing your wonderful news with us, and so glad Spirit was able to be of assistance and keep you calm and patient in the waiting time. Thanks so much, Bree. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. And I want to go to Cindy. Cindy is in West Palm Beach. Cindy, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm
doing pretty good.
Good, Cindy. Good to make a connection with you again. Thank you so much for calling. And what is your question for us?
Well, I've been getting a visitor at night, some spirit that I'm not comfortable with.
Yes.
And I just thought I'd see what you had to say about that.
So the energy you're feeling is kind of entering the room and kind of disturbing your energy as you're getting ready to rest and get ready for sleep. Is that correct, please?
Yes,
Okay.
even when I'm trying to sleep.
Exactly.
Like,
Getting ready for
I,
sleep. Yes, exactly.
yeah, I mean, I'm actually feeling touching, you know?
It's an energy that's a heavy, dense energy. It's here to disrupt you. I actually feel as if it's connected to some bad energy connected between you and someone, a falling out you had with someone. And I feel like it's just their bad thoughts have kind of organized in a form that's kind of disturbing to you. It's kind of summoned up some energy that's disrupting you. Did you do something to clear out the house, to smoke out the house, to remove anything from there?
Well, I mean, I have saged and stuff, you know,
Okay. I
but
would suggest you do something called copal. We have it at the store. And you burn it on some charcoal. You need something a little stronger, and you need to do it repetitively for about 3 days. Sage is not strong enough, and then you can stop, and then the following week do it once a week after that. And then you'll be sealing off your house. It'll be difficult for it to come through the door because it's
okay.
it's kind of coming from the outside in. It has nothing to do with anyone in your family. It is not a spirit that is attached to anything having to do with you personally. It's something that is just trying to disrupt you, disrupt your sleep, and it has to do with a falling out with someone else. Did we have a falling out with someone about a year or so ago?
Well, yeah, I probably my neighbors that moved.
Okay. Yeah, so I
And,
just think it's like just bad vibes. That's all.
yeah,
So in the meantime, let me tell you what to do because I don't want us to get cut out of time. I want you to take a glass of water and put some kosher salt in the water next to your bed. And you can
okay.
even sprinkle a little bit of kosher salt. I know it'll feel a little weird, but sprinkle a few pieces of kosher salt on your sheets for when you go to sleep. You know, it'll
Yeah,
fall on the floor eventually, and then you just can vacuum or sweep it up. But this also helps kind of keep that energy away from you. We also recommend that you have black tourmaline above the door. The doorway has that wood frame, the door jamb above. You put a little piece of
I
black tourmaline. We have that at the center. If you don't have any, you put it above the doorway.
I actually do have some black tourmaline, but I don't. I guess I'd have to tape it up there because I don't have a frame around the door.
Okay. Keep it near your bed then in the meantime,
Okay.
because that will prevent the energy from coming, because no energy, no spirit has any right to kind of come into your auric field so that you feel them touch you.
Yeah, I mean, the odd thing is I feel them touching me and I can't see who it is, you know. Sometimes I can see things, but this time I can't.
Right, because it doesn't want you to see. It doesn't have a good
Uh-huh.
vibe to it, right? When our relatives come, they've got nothing to hide. They're like, here, we love you. We just want you to know we're with you and that we made it to the other side and we're still watching. Oh, and then they disappear. But this is something that's there in a taunting, disturbing way, and that's how I see the spirit.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So try those things. That should be of great benefit for you. And then pop over to the center in West Palm Beach and pick up that copal to clear the energy. Just tell them you need to really clear out heavy, and they'll be sure to connect you with just the right product.
Okay. I will do that.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Cindy. Thank you for following me and being a part of the show. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to go to Wellington. I've got Dee on the line. Dee, how are you tonight?
Hey, Sarah, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Dee, and how can I assist you tonight? What's your question?
Question is, I really, really, really need a new job. Do you see anything coming up for me?
Yes, you really need a new job. You really need to move. You really need to do a lot of things. Yes. Let's take a look
but
here.
First and foremost, for health reasons, I need a new job. Seriously.
Yes. So let's see here. Just kind of calculating here. So this is actually a very good year for you to build a new community and make a good connection for work and networking. And I kind of feel like through the time of close to your birthday, you will be able to have a new job. We're actively looking for something outside what you're currently doing. Is that correct?
No, I haven't started looking, but as of after today, I decided I will be.
Look. You need to look, actively look, and something should come to you on or around the time of your birthday, towards the end of the year. That's when I feel like there'll be a good opportunity for you. Right now, the mission is to get out so that you can get into a different vibration. And I know
you're short on time, but
Yes.
Real quick question. I need something at or more than what I'm making now. That's my main concern with a new job. Do you feel that this new opportunity will provide that?
Well, you're not going to take an opportunity, right? Unless it's going to
True.
give you that, okay?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll find more creative ways. But, you ask the universe, write down on a piece of paper what you want to make, add to what you're making, and tell the universe, this is what I would like to make getting in the door with an opportunity to grow and feel fulfilled and passionate and content with what I do. I wish to be at peace and enjoy my work and not have it cause undue stress and raise my blood pressure.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly all that.
Do you have blood pressure issues? Because I feel like your pressure's out of whack.
Yeah, blood pressure. Since I started back at work, my sugar's been out of whack. It's very stressful. Very stressful.
Yes. Well, do yourself a favor. Take some deep breaths. Take some Epsom salt baths. In the meantime, pray, meditate, and tell the universe what you want, and the universe will support you, Dee. Sorry it's been a rough go of it, but the universe will get you out of this as well.
All right.
Thank you so much for calling, Dee. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, another show, our 601st show of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, has come to a close, and we are so excited to share September with you. We've got some wonderful classes that will be beginning on the 14th, the 21st, and then the first week in October. And so we hope you visit our website, sarahspiritual.com, learn more about our classes, learn more about the work that we're doing, and the upcoming programs. We look forward to being of assistance to you. If you would like a personal session with me, you can visit sarahspiritual.com. We have a whole selection of types of sessions that we offer. I trust that every day you are in gratitude and you ask the universe to have your back and know that they will support you. Believe anything is possible. The power of belief has the power to create miracles and shift any situation or condition to resolve it to something that brings you great joy and harmony. As always, it's a pleasure to be of service to you. Good night, everyone. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.